Setting up a limited company is simple. You can register the company with Companies House online or by post, and it costs as little as £12. Watch this video to find out the things you need to do when registering a limited company. Hi, if we haven't met before, my name is Dan and I'm a CMAP qualified mortgage and protection advisor. This video is purely for educational purposes only and should not be seen as advice or recommendation to act, and I must stress you should approach an accountant before setting up a limited company to ensure it's been set up correctly. As I've already mentioned, setting up a limited company is easy, but you need to do it correctly, so make sure you're prepared. Let's go through the things that you'll need to do one by one. So the company name. This needs to be unique and something that you can build your brand on. If you're setting up a limited company just to buy a property in, then this doesn't matter so much. But if you're setting up a limited company as your main business, then building a brand is important. There is a YouTube channel called Rock Your Brand, and they go through brand strategy and the do's and don'ts. I'll put a link in the description to the channel. It's worth watching some of the videos as they'll be applicable to you. If you want to check your company name is unique, you can use the Companies House register. Stay away from trying to replicate well-known global brands. You could find yourself in a spot of bother. Address. Think carefully where you're going to register your business, as this will be public information. The majority of people register their company to either their home address or their accountant's office. Directors and shareholders. You need to appoint at least one director. You can add additional directors or a company secretary if you wish to. You'll also need at least one shareholder. Each shareholder should be allocated a percentage share of the company. It can be just for you as a 100% shareholder. There can be tax advantages adding more than one shareholder to a limited company, but this is beyond my expertise and I'm afraid you'll need to speak to a tax advisor to find out if this is beneficial to you or not. Something to note, any shareholder with a holding greater than 25% is a person with significant control, and if you're obtaining a mortgage on a property owned by the company, often or not, they'll need to go on the mortgage application. But speak to a qualified mortgage advisor, such as myself, to get more details. For every person with significant control, their name, month and year of birth, nationality and address will appear on the public register. Definition of business activity. This is a big topic to cover. If you're here because you're buying a property, then the next 10 seconds or so will be useful. If you're not, please bear with me. Some lenders require the company to be defined using certain SIC codes. SIC stands for Standard Industry Classifications. The most common ones are 68100, buying and selling your own real estate, 68209, other letting and operating of owned or leased real estate, and 68320, management of real estate on a fee or contract basis. You should always speak to a qualified accountant about the type of company you're creating. It's also worth asking your tax advisor whether the company should be a special purpose vehicle. Once your company is registered, you must register for corporation tax within 3 months, and you'll need to set up a business bank account. If you're finding this video helpful, please hit that like button. This content is free of charge to you, and it's just a way of saying thanks. Back to the video. Running a limited company. There is a stigma surrounding limited companies, as many think they're complicated and difficult to maintain. Whilst there are a few additional responsibilities, they can be easily incorporated into your routine, and if you have an accountant, they'll be there to support you. Let me quickly cover off some of the details of running a limited company. Directors' responsibilities. Directors are personally responsible for some of the company's basic functions, such as maintaining accounting records and making sure tax is paid on time. You can outsource these functions to other people, but you must make sure you're involved in the process and aware of your business, which leads me nicely onto records and accounting. It's essential that you maintain accurate company and accounting records. It's a must. Another must is submitting a confirmation statement each year within 14 days of the company's anniversary of incorporation. This was previously called an annual return, and some people still use this terminology, so if you come across it, you now know what they're talking about. Annual accounts and tax returns must also be submitted. Any changes to the company's name, address, directors or shareholder structure, you will need to notify Companies House and HMRC. Taking income from the company. There are several ways for drawing funds from the company. These are salary, expenses, benefits, dividends, and directors' loans. The treatment for each for tax purposes is different, so speak to a tax advisor and don't just pull one from a hat because it could cost you dearly. So that's it. It may sound like a lot, but I can assure you it isn't. I've put chapters in the description which will help you skip back and forth to the sections that you want to go back over, so fill your boots. If you've landed on this video and you're considering buying a property in a limited company, I've got you covered in this video here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.